Hi, I'm Tyler with MakeUseOf.com, and today I'll be reviewing the Geekom Mini Air 11 Mini Windows PC. Now, the PC market is pretty oversaturated nowadays. There's a lot of great stuff out there, and there's a lot of junk out there, and it all comes in various different form factors. This Geekom Mini Air 11 is trying to fit in that mini-sized, portable, mount anywhere option. Now, we'll get into why you might want such a small, portable desktop in the first place a little later in this video. But first, what does this Mini Air 11 have to offer, and what are its shortcomings? Also, if you're interested in winning a free special edition version of the Mini Air 11, you can go to the review link in the description below and click on the giveaway widget to enter. Opening the Mini Air 11 box, you're greeted with the PC and the power cable, along with a plethora of additional accessories to get you started, or to just make your life that much easier when using the product. These include an HDMI cable, mini DisplayPort to HDMI adapter, a VESA mounting bracket with bolts, and a travel storage bag. Honestly, I was pretty excited to see this many accessories in the box because I feel like most manufacturers will just cut the cost and leave that burden on the consumer to purchase all these cables and adapters and mounting options. But here, Geekom was thinking about the user when they included these products, and I'm pretty grateful for that, especially at this low price point. Taking the PC out of the box, you begin to realize just how small this thing is, much more than even I anticipated. But that small form factor does not come at a sacrifice to port options. Browsing around the PC body, you'll find just about every port you'd want on a computer. Here in the front, we have a USB-C port that's data only, so no monitor support here. We have a USB-A 3.2 Gen 2 port, a headphone and mic combo jack, and then an LED power button. And that's all underneath 4 of these little microphones. On the back side, we have our power input, mini DisplayPort, Ethernet, 2 USB-A 3.2 Gen 1 ports, another data-only USB-C port, and an HDMI output. On the left side of the PC, we have an SD card reader, which is great to see on a computer this size. And on the right side, we have a Kensington lock. So that way you have locking options for wherever you want to take this little thing. And the inside of the PC also comes equipped with Bluetooth and Wi-Fi antennas. You can tell Geekom made some pretty minimal sacrifices when it came to the ports here, and it's honestly more than I would have expected on such a little PC. I feel like Geekom is really showing that they care about the user and that they want to include anything that we might need to get the computer running smoothly and easily. Including the VESA mounting bracket is a huge plus because that means we can mount this to the back of our monitors, into an entertainment system, or even bolted directly underneath our desk. So just that little accessory inclusion unlocks a lot of possibilities with this little computer. It would have been nice to have display out through USB-C or a faster SD card reader, but at this price point, those are sacrifices I'm willing to make. The design is also pretty nice. It's small, discreet, and the ports are conveniently located in logical areas of the device. It sits as a square with only a small amount of height, and it easily fits into any home or office setup. The chassis is made of plastic, but it feels really solid, and it keeps the weight light at just over a pound and the cost low. Here on the bottom of the device we have some information, and we have 4 of these little rubber feet. Inside each of these feet is a screw, which conveniently, if you unscrew it, you get to see the internals of the computer. Inside you'll find a removable 256GB SSD, with this included thermal tape, an 8GB RAM stick, and an additional slot for upgrading to up to 32GB of dual channel memory, which is really great to see. Setup with this computer really couldn't be any easier. All that was necessary to set it up was to plug in the computer into an outlet and plug in the included HDMI cable into my monitor. Once I finished that, I just booted up into the pre-installed Windows 11, set up my account, and I was ready to go. The account setup was really simple and smooth, and the software didn't have any ugly bloatware. It was easy enough to connect to Wi-Fi and then use the Bluetooth to connect to my mouse and keyboard, and at that point I just downloaded all my favorite apps and files and I was ready to go. Alright, so now you see what the computer looks like and what ports it has and how simple it is to set up, but the real question when buying a cheap PC is, how does it perform? I mean, performance can make or break the user experience. And when a computer is designed for personal and business use, performance is crucial to getting your job done. I think in this performance sector is where you start to see some sacrifices made to keep the cost low for the PC. Under the hood is an 11th gen Intel Celeron N5 095 with Intel UHD graphics 605. The OS runs on a 256GB M.2 PCIe SSD, paired with the aforementioned 8GB of DDR4 RAM. Now, let me be clear, this is not a gaming PC and it's not a video editing powerhouse. This is a machine designed for web browsing and data management and writing and editing documents. If you're looking for a computer with intense CPU and graphics performance, look elsewhere. But that being said, I think the Air 11 can hold its own. I mean, I was skeptical upon receiving this tiny, cheap PC. In a lot of cases, I feel like companies will use this form factor as an excuse to package poor parts and sell it to people who are on a tight budget. But that doesn't seem like the case here. I think Geekom is focused on providing true value to their customers. When performing simple tasks, the experience is pretty smooth, and it executes pretty much everything a regular user would want to do on their computer. And while casual use is this computer's intention, the Mini Air 11 can also do some more intensive tasks. I was able to do some light gaming on Gary's mod, and while the motion tended to be pretty choppy, there wasn't any real hang-ups or serious lag. I was able to play back some highly compressed 4K video files with no problems. Where I really could see the performance start to buckle was when playing higher bit depth and higher frame rate 4K video files. So, if you're looking for smooth video playback, I'd stick to nothing more intensive than 8-bit, 30 frames per second, 4K video. The only other real stuttering I noticed in normal usage was the rescaling of windows, or loading some graphic-heavy web pages. This just seems like something the internal graphics aren't optimized for, nor will ever be. And while it can get pretty annoying to do simple tasks quickly, it isn't something that stands in the way of using the computer properly. Okay, weird hiccup here. I'm hovering over the toolbar. Nothing's happening. Nothing's popping up. Can't access my apps or start menu or anything. Can't even open any folders. Guess I'm just gonna have to restart the computer. And now I can't even slide it down to shut down. I'm trying. Scrolling doesn't work. Clicking and dragging. Keypad. Just gonna have to hard reset, I guess. So boiling all that down, who is this computer for? And to me, I think it's pretty much for everyone. I mean, it's so simple to use and it works very efficiently and it's cheap. I think it could really make a great addition to anyone's desk setup or any office. But where I think this computer could really thrive is in very niche scenarios. Given the size and portability of this thing, I could totally see it being used in like home theater setups, mounted into an entertainment room connected to an external hard drive or a Plex server with endless movie options. I could see this being used in theater productions with a couple of these being scattered around the theater for projectionists and LED screen operators. Even a backyard movie night could use this as the brain of the whole operation. It could even be super useful to businesses looking to expand their workstations or offer work-from-home setups for their employees. Plus, as a primarily Mac OS user, I could see myself keeping this around purely as a secondary Windows device for when I need to run Windows-specific operations or open Windows-specific files. And the same goes for anyone operating on a non-Windows setup. So why not a laptop? If small and portable is what you're going for, a laptop is sort of the obvious option. You know, why have such a small portable PC when you have to outfit it with big monitors and keyboards and mice and desk and speakers? Well, having a purely desktop computer of this size and price helps increase the value of performance. If you're looking for a cheap laptop, you have to consider the price of adding built-in displays and keyboards and trackpads and speakers and batteries, all of which at this price point would likely be subpar. Purchasing a small desktop computer gives the consumer the opportunity to customize and outfit the computer with any peripherals that might work best for them, especially in these specialty scenarios that I discussed, and all while keeping the budget where it matters, on the internals of the computer. So, how does the Geekom Mini Air 11 sound to you? I think it's a solid, reasonable, and valuable addition to most people's computer arsenal, especially if you have a specific use case scenario or don't already own a Windows computer. But when multitasking and doing more intensive computing, the small stutters and slower pace can add up, taking minutes or totaling up to hours off your productivity. It's always important to consider the competition, especially when the mini PC market is so saturated. For example, the Beelink U59 Pro offers a similar form factor with an Intel 11th Gen N5-105 processor, double the RAM, double the storage, and triple 4K monitor support, all for $25 less than what the Geekom Mini Air offers at $279. And while I haven't used the Beelink, so I can't speak on its performance, that spec sheet is nothing to laugh about. If performance is your highest concern and you need a form factor like a mini PC, then maybe the Beelink is a better option. But if you value simplicity, more I/O, expandability, and useful included accessories to get you started, the Geekom Mini Air 11 might be for you when it comes to mild computing. But competition aside, the Geekom Mini Air 11 has been a pleasure to use, and I'd be happy to recommend it to anyone looking for a simple, easy to use, cheap mini PC.